14 years ago, in my first school that I built, I had a student experience that I'll never forget. Gemma was this brilliant student, and she had this great light about her. But during her senior year, her grades started to crumble, and she no longer qualified to graduate at our school. And I remember my staff telling me that we should hold her diploma because she didn't meet the seat time requirements, and she didn't finish all of her assignments. But what we did know was that she was out in the world building a virtual reality company. And so I had this big pit in my stomach when I had to call her mom and let her know that she couldn't walk across that stage. A couple months later, someone handed me a copy of 17 magazine. And there was Gemma on the cover with Michelle Obama being celebrated for what she built. The school I built called her a failure. The world was calling her a pioneer. And that's when I realized that my job as an educational entrepreneur is not to help students succeed in a broken system. My job is to redesign it. And I think that's what brought all of us into this room over all of these years, that we believed that we could build something better. And 20 years ago, the sector was full of great ideas. New assessment systems, new teacher and leader pipelines, charter management organizations. All of those ideas changed lives for the better. But here's a question I've been thinking about lately. Have we kept innovating? Are we replicating the ideas of 20 years ago and creating a new fixed system? Innovation is great when you start schools, but it's really hard to innovate while you're running them. And if you're not innovating while you're running them, then I think our sector, we're not an innovation sector yet. We are a replication sector. And replication has tremendous value, but it doesn't build what's next. And with AI and everything that's going to come with it, our sector has to continue to lead, or we just become absorbed in that traditional system, the one that we wanted to reimagine. But I do have hope, because there's a lot of spark in this room. I am so hopeful when I see Kim Neal and Believe Schools in St. Louis building schools with local hospitals to change the social mobility of her students. I'm so inspired by what's happening in New York City with Dream and EVA and how they're using AI to close student feedback loops, accelerating learning like we've never seen before. And at Ednovate, we've been building too. After Gemma, we just changed our whole report card. We said, let's not build for higher ed sorting purposes. Let's build to help our students find themselves, get to know themselves, and think about their careers and their future. When our attendance started to drop because our students were afraid to come because of bullying, anxiety, or fear of immigration, we built Ednovate Virtual Academy so that our students can stay connected and still continue the learning. And when we lost a parent and a student and a staff member to mental health issues, we created OpenSeat, a mental health telehealth platform so our students can get access to care whenever they need it. It has always been that our students' needs are what tells us what to build next. The student is the vision. And that leads me to my last story that I want to share with you. A few years later, I met a student named Dahlia. And Dahlia, as a part of our experience at Ednovate, you have to stand in front of a stage like this and share what you've learned over your 4 years and how you want to make the world a better place. And Dahlia comes up on stage and she shares, as a freshman, I learned to love art, but I also learned that I'm carrying a lot of stress because of the economic inequities of my household and the financial pressures that I have. Her sophomore year, she said, I learned I couldn't really talk about my stresses because both my family isn't open to getting mental health resources or my community. Her junior year, she said, I love math, I love coding, and I also realized that not enough women are in that field. And then she starts putting it together her senior year. And then on the stage, she walks over to a laptop like this, opens it up, and on the screen, you see a video game that she created. All of the code, all of the artwork, all of it was hers. And in that game, they learn how to make friends so that they can talk to each other about the problem so that they don't have to be alone. And then Dahlia stepped forward on the stage and she said, I am going to the University of California at Santa Barbara to study game design. And I realize that my job is not to create games that addict, but my job is to create games that heal. At Ednovate, this is what schools should do. Don't just get the test scores, don't just get them into college, but get them to understand themselves. Get them to learn to build something that solves real problems in this world so they can live a life with purpose. The student is the vision, and the student is also the answer to what we should build next. A better public school system doesn't get built anywhere else. It gets built with people in this exact room. And we didn't enter this work to replicate what exists. We entered this work to build what doesn't. And somewhere in our schools right now, there's a student whose genius your systems fail to see. That student is exactly telling us what to build next. The question is, are we willing to listen? Thank you.